Yes, I'm Roy. Oh, right, where are you now? Oh, okay. Right, if you look across the road, you'll see a Boots the Chemist. Yeah, to the left-hand side of that, there's Morgan Avenue. Yeah, we'll go down there, and the community centre's about halfway down on the left-hand side. It's a sort of 60s green building. Yeah. We're in room 6B. Alright? Alright, I'll see you soon. Oh, by the way, what's your name? Pat. Alright, Pat. See you soon. Oh, hello. I'm Roy.
Judith.
Judith. Right. Come far, Judith?
No.
Well, that's handy. Did you want to eat that off? It's not really the weather for sitting around in damp clothes, is it?
Oh, yes, of course.
It's a rotten month, isn't it? October. Wind, rain, storms. All those signs that winter's on its way.
Yes, indeed.
So how did you hear about our little group?
Oh, through the library.
Oh, yeah.
I was returning my books and I picked up a forthcoming events magazine.
Oh, that was handy. Did you visit the library often?
Oh, yes. Every week. I borrow 3 books and I return the following Tuesday.
Oh, right. A bookworm. What sort of books do you like?
Fiction. It has to be fiction.
Yeah. Well, fiction it is. Well, I'm glad you decided to give us a try.
Hello, I'm Frank.
Hello, Frank. I'm Roy. I'm the convener.
Convener?
But I'll be leading the group through the coming months.
Oh, I see. Right. May I?
Oh, yeah, please do.
I do. I like this time of year. It's a time for staying indoors and looking out of windows. I looked out tonight and thought, shall I bother? I nearly didn't.
I'm glad you did.
Well, we'll see, eh?
Hello? Anyone home? Oh, hello. Doreen Walters. Hello, you must be Roy. We spoke on the telephone. Hello, Doreen, and you are?
Frank.
Marvellous. Nice to meet you, Frank. Ooh, lovely shoes. Brogues are so practical, aren't they? If not always the most attractive of footwear. Oh my goodness, look at you! Is it raining, dear, or did you swim here? Now, Roy,
yes.
You must tell us about this little experiment we've signed up for. I have to say I was intrigued. Of course, it's not the sort of thing that would usually interest me. It all sounds a bit airy-fairy, but it was my very good friend Marjorie that recommended it. I went to visit her post-op last month. She's just had a facelift and a new conservatory. I was doing my Florence Nightingale act, you know, the sort of thing, serving tea and providing a listening ear, when she handed me the article about you. Though I have to say, now I'm close up, your photograph was very kind to me. Do you moisturise? You should, all men should. There's no stigma attached nowadays. Are you married, Roy?
Yeah.
Yes, of course you are. Does she cook for you? Oh, yes, of course she does. Although I do hope you're not a vegetarian. I mean, I don't care what people eat, but veggies are such a pain to cater for. You make a smoked salmon mousse with Thai king prawns, and they sit there, looking glum, eating a lettuce leaf. The thing is, it's me who ends up feeling guilty. Right, it's 7, shall we start?
Well, actually, Doreen, as it's our first evening, I thought I'd give the others a little time to find us.
Really? Oh, well, I suppose you know best, but I do hope it won't be a regular occurrence. Punctuality is so important. People nowadays are very slovenly in their timekeeping.
Right. Look at me. It is pissing it down out there. I feel like a cat that's been flushed down the car sink. Oh, balls. Am I in the wrong room?
I think you must be, dear.
Pat,
gate-crashed a prayer meeting. Sorry I'm late, Roy, but your directions was ace. Suddenly realised I've been past this place 100 times. It's just, I'd always thought it were a clap clinic.
Two more.
Oh, they're a bit of alright. I'll have the one with the cap, and you can have the packet.
Hi, Greg, I found this young man wandering around outside.
Nice to meet you, Greg, and
Mo.
Mo, right, Mo.
Roy, does this mean we can start? Only I told Nigel to pick me up promptly at 9. And it's not the sort of area to park a BMW for long, is it?
Oi, I live round here.
Oh, so you'd know then.
Actually, Doreen, there's just one more to arrive, and then we can begin. While we're waiting, I'd just like to rearrange the chairs, if you don't mind.
But Roy, I've just done that.
Well, I'd like them in a sort of semicircle, then we can all see each other.
Oh, I thought it was better this way for your lecture.
Well, I won't be lecturing as such.
Really?
How are we going to learn then?
Well, a different type of course. We'll be learning from each other.
Really?
Why don't you all just take a seat and I'll explain everything shortly.
I'm Greg.
Ah, you must be Dawn.
Yeah, alright.
Just one you come in.
Oh, hiya, love. Come and pat your arse next to me.
Well, thanks for all coming out on such an horrible night. Firstly, let me welcome you to this short course, which, as you know, has been sponsored by the university. I'm Roy Carr, and I lecture in psychology. And my specialist area of expertise is interpersonal skills. Now, what we're hoping to achieve over the coming months is to look at the various influences which affect our lives, and in turn, how that affects the way we deal with and view other people.
Roy, I'm sorry to interrupt, but what exactly do you mean?
Well, we'll be taking an in-depth look at our past and present situations. Then, hopefully, armed with a better understanding of your own self and an insight into the lives of others, you might look differently at things.
Walk a mile in somebody else's shoes.
Yeah, if you like.
Yeah, we all know what that means.
Yeah, somebody's licked your trainers.
Now, as I'm sure you realise, the response to the article has been amazing, and from over 100 applicants, you are the lucky ones.
If I might ask, Roy, why us?
Well, if you remember, Frank, you all filled in a questionnaire.
Yes.
Yeah, all them bloody questions, it was worse than signing on.
Well, my brief was to bring together a diverse group of people that I felt would benefit from our meetings.
What's so special about us?
Well, see, you're all special.
No, we're not.
Well, you are. You just don't always realise it.
Whatever.
Now, as we get to know each other, we can find out exactly.
Does that mean we have to talk about ourselves?
Yeah.
What? Tell people private stuff?
Well, hopefully after a while you'll feel comfortable enough to talk openly in front of each other. You see, at no point during this course are we to judge one another. That's not what we're here for. But through understanding what's shaped the lives of others, we might understand ourselves a little more.
Excuse me, Roy, I know we're up here cynical, but isn't that rather simplistic?
Say what?
Oh, please.
But I know it's a trend to buy into all this psychobabble stuff. People thinking they can make everything right by endless talk. But reality shows us, that some things can't be fixed.
Roy, I have to say, I agree with,
Greg.
Gregory. I mean, some things just can't be changed, can they? I mean, you try, goodness knows I do, but people are people. I mean, look at all these illegal immigrants. Rather than standing round on street corners, begging, they need to help themselves. Get a job.
Get a life.
Exactly, get a life. Oh, what a useful expression, dear. You see, we're all responsible for what happens to us in this life, aren't we?
Are we?
Yes, we are.
Oh, really?
Actually, Doreen, I don't believe that. There was a reason why you all joined this course, why you took the plunge and filled in the questionnaire. Now, I don't know yet what those reasons are, but surely that's what's brought us all here.
I know what mine was.
You do?
Yeah. Anything to get away from that gobshite of a husband of mine.
Whatever your individual reasons, we're never too old or young to observe and learn. Alright? Now, some of you have introduced yourselves already, but what I'd like to do is go down line one by one and tell us a little bit about yourself. Alright? We'll start at that end and work our way along.
Oh no, I couldn't possibly.
Roy, perhaps it would be easier if I begin. After all, I am used to public speaking. As secretary of our town's
Thank you, Doreen. That's very kind of you. But I'm sure if we give Judith a little bit of time, she'll manage to tell us something. Won't you, Judith?
Oh, right. Well, I'm Judith. I'm 28. 28?
That.
Sorry, love, no offence, but I thought he was at least 40.
But please, everybody, this is difficult for some people.
Sorry, Roy.
Sorry, Judith, go on.
Well, I'm Judith. I work in local government. I'm single. I live with my parents. Oh, and I enjoy reading.
All right. Anything else?
No, nothing else.
All right. Well, thank you, Judith. That was very brave.
Yes, well done, dear. Good effort.
All right. Dawn.
I'm Dawn. I'm 17. I live on the 14th floor of a block of flats. I've got a son called Danny. He's 7 months. And I love Robbie Williams.
Great singer. Thank you, Dawn.
All right, yeah. Okay, so I'm Pat, and what you see is what you get. I'm 45, married, got 6 kids, 2 boys, 3 girls, and a husband called Gary, who is the biggest kid of the lot. And although we've been married for ages, we do still argue like cat and dog. I'll give you an example, right? So the other morning, we was lying in bed, and he leans forward and pinches me arse and says, "You ought to firm that up, then you wouldn't need them great big elastic knickers." Then he pinches me tits and says, "You ought to firm them up, and then you wouldn't need that wonder bra." Doreen, my thoughts, exactly. So I lean forwards, pinches his old man and says, "Oi, you ought to firm that up, and I wouldn't need the milkman, your brother, or the butcher." Honestly, seriously, we met at school, fell in love when we was 15, and although we've had our ups and downs, we are still together.
Well, as you know, I'm Doreen Walters, and if you don't mind, I won't give my age. Let's just say I'm approaching the big 50.
Yeah, but from which direction?
Right. I'm sorry, but if we're to take this evening seriously, I really can't countenance these constant, rather childish interruptions.
Sorry, Roy, sorry. I'll keep it zipped.
Thank you.
Said the flasher to the nun.
Now, how do I put into a few inadequate sentences the woman that is Doreen? Doreen the mother, Doreen the wife, Doreen
The saint.
Pat!
I live in Ormsby, a little distance away, but I find the peace and quiet there is just beautiful. Oh, Roy, really? You think on such a special evening people would have the common courtesy to turn off their... Excuse me one moment. Excuse me. So sorry. So sorry. Hello. No, I can't speak.
Could have fooled me.
Yes, it's fine. They're all right. Yes, okay, I'll see you later. And don't be late. I'm so sorry. Now, where was I? Oh yes, Doreen. Mother, housewife, charity worker, and always true and constant friend. I'm married to Nigel. That was him on the telephone. He sends his regards, by the way. And I have a son, Anthony. He's very big in the stock market and lives in Inverness.
Lucky bastard.
Right, thank you, story. That was lovely. More?
Me now? Right, okay. I'm Mo. I live with my family. I'm at college studying information technology. That's about it really, right?
All right, well, thank you very much, Mo. Oh, do you mind me asking what's Mo short for?
Mohammed. It's short for Mohammed. We're Muslims.
That's absolutely fine.
Right, well, let's get this over and done with. Pretty boring, I'm afraid. I'm Greg, 40-something, single. Well, my cat Tess would probably have a heart attack if she heard me say that. Don't actually mind being single. I'm a teacher of French and history. Happy, sane and reasonably sorted. Although if you saw me after a double session with me year 9, she might have other ideas. I like classical music, travel and fine wines. Voila, c'est moi.
That's great, thanks very much, Greg. I'm sure we'll all be asking your advice over what wines to buy.
Tres bon, Gregory. Tres bon.
Oh, vous êtes raisonnable.
Oh, yes, of course. Mercredi.
Hello everybody, I'm Frank.
Oh, fine.
I'm retired. My hobbies are woodwork, music and politics. My wife died recently. We've been married 47 years, no children. So as you can imagine, the house is very large and very empty. I haven't understood everything that's been said tonight, but I'm interested. I am interested.
All right, well, thank you very much, Frank. Right then, let's start.
You with the full show, kicking with your torso. Boys getting high and the girls even more so. Wave your hands if you're not with a man. Can I kick it? Yes, you can! I got, you got, we got everybody. I got the gift, gonna stick it in the toe.
Do you mind if I join you? So, what do you think?
What?
Of this malarkey? I mean, that Roy, he seems nice enough, doesn't he? But I'm not really sure all this is for me. And as for that Doreen, stuck-up cow, have you seen the way she looks at me? Townswomen's Guild. They can keep her. I mean, I don't know who she thinks she is, but she's no better than me. And what do you think, Dawn?
I shouldn't have come. That's what I'm thinking.
No shit, Sherlock. Duh. Hello? Do you think it might be, just might be, because you've got a 7-month-old son who, no matter what you do, won't stop crying, and as much as you love him, 7 times a day you walk out onto your balcony and just want to throw the bugger over?
Are you psychic?
No, love. I'm 45. Who's he with?
Me nan.
Any other family?
Well, yeah, but we don't really see them.
And the father? Had you known him long?
Yeah, he's not around anymore.
Is it a plane? Is it Superman? No, it's a running father. Only just recognisable by the hairs on his arse as he scrambles to pull up his kegs and scarper. Me? Oh, no, not me. Honestly, they deny everything, don't they, dads?
Yeah, they bloody do. I love my mum, and I miss my dad, but they don't want to know. They wanted him adopted. No way! He's my son. Danny is my son. I might not have been a great daughter, but by Christ, I am going to be a bloody good mother. Honest.
I know, love. You don't have to tell me. I know.
How do you know?
Because I'm 45 and I'm psychic. No, I had an older sister, June. She got knocked up when I were only 9.
Did she keep the baby?
Oh yeah, no question of it. It's just My mum and dad did what they all did in them days.
Kicked her out. Well, what happened?
No idea.
Oh. Where is she?
Somewhere. She's got to be somewhere. It's like another world. It is another world. They talk to each other, just talk. People they have never even met before. The words come so easily, just falling out. Nothing filtered up or weighed in the balance. No fear, no hesitation. I suppose the difference is they know who they are. They're prepared to have a conversation in the full knowledge that, irrespective of what people think of them, they're prepared to say, this is what I feel. This is what I believe. Some of the things they say, no shame, no guilt, disagreements, points of view, opinions, jokes, making light of situations that, frankly, I had long suspected people are doing, but I could never, will never be able to do. That's why I'm happy in the room, just reading. I think Jane Austen would be shocked if she met some of these people. They'd have no place in her world. Her world is perfect. But all this, it's too much to take in. It's too complicated. It's too dangerous.
Well, choosing the right university is always difficult.
Tell me about it, Greg.
Yeah. And it's not just your chosen subject.
No?
No. I mean, I tease and mushroom in faculties. There's loads of great universities all over, all with good reputations. No, it's the other factors.
Such as what?
Such as where in the country do you want to be?
Is that massive?
It's massively important. I mean, do you want to be close to home, far enough to visit when it suits you, or miles away, safe on prying eyes and ears?
I've never really thought about it, Greg.
Well, you must. How do you get on with your family?
Fine.
What's happening?
We're close. Got two sisters, 9 and 13, and two brothers, 15 and 22. My dad works in an electrical warehouse, and my mum's a typical backy housewife. Always on the phone to the aunties for hours. Cooks, cleans, fusses.
Medals?
What did I tell you? She's typical.
How strict are they?
So. We go to the mosque, observe the daily rituals.
All right.
But they're not very fanatical. I'm sure my dad enjoys a drink.
No.
Yeah. Comes home late sometimes. Then mum goes into action. We start with a few questions. Where you been, dear? Who'd you see? What'd you do? Then she'll make a tie for his coat. To check the pockets.
Oh, I see.
She'll give him a kiss goodnight. But we all know she's just checking his breath. But he's clever. Man's best friend.
Eh?
Polos.
Polos, right.
So, what made you become a teacher?
Oh, I don't know what she did. I was just one of them strange kids who actually enjoyed school.
You're weird, man.
So they tell me. Look, I just like the routine, the order.
So, why French and history?
French, well, that's easy. It was glamorous. It was so nice to listen to, sort of musical, sexy. It was also my code, a secret way of communicating that was private from the outside world. If you didn't know what it meant, you're an outsider. Yeah. I used to speak on the phone for hours with my mate Richard after school. It used to drive my mum crazy.
And history?
Well, I always wondered what it would have been like to actually live in those days. You know, I spent hours fantasizing. I mean, before TV, before the internet, before cars. I mean, what would it have been actually like? I used to imagine myself as a cavalier, in a plumed hat, with a gaudy beard, a stripy black horse, fighting the king's cause.
So, do you still daydream on that?
All the time, mate. All the time. Oh well, let's get back with the bloody microscope.
Me with the floor show, kicking with your torso. Boys getting high and the girls even more so. Wave your hands if you're not with a man. Can I kick it? Yes, you can!
You're wrong. You're all so wrong. And then, oh, that's typical of the British. They take one look at somebody and think they know it all. Clothes and shoes. You could be a mass murderer or a serial rapist, but as long as you've got nice clean shoes, that's all that matters. You can see them eyeing people out the corner of their eye. Never straight on, of course, always sideways. No, and the overriding thing they have to know is, are you one of us? Can we rely upon you to maintain the status quo? Next time you're walking along a busy street, look closely. They might be hurrying by at a rate of knots in a desperate bid to get from A to B. But what do? They scan. And that's because underneath their brain is working overtime. Yes, they're being summed up and scrutinised. What? A classless society? Ah, well, maybe. But an inclusive society? Ah, well. If you play the game and don't rock the boat, they just might extend their knowledge to let you in. Lift the fence high enough for you to crawl under. Still, as Marx said, I wouldn't want to be a member of a club that would allow me to be a member. No, not Carl. Groucho. Oh, and incidentally, you're still wrong. No, the death of Pearl, that was her name, the death of Pearl has nothing to do with this. Oh yes, she was a good wife, my pal, but she isn't the first person I've lost, just the last.
Relax and find a seat.
Judith, you have to follow instructions.
I was.
I said left 3 times, but you carried on. Couldn't you hear me?
Yes.
So why didn't you obey?
I didn't want to.
You have to obey the rules, Judith. Otherwise, as we've seen, chaos ensues.
Maybe she feels like a bit of chaos.
Yeah. Say, burn your bra and up yours.
Patricia, this is Judith we're talking about.
So?
Well, in her case, it's
Up yours!
Be careful what you wish for, dear. It might come true.
I hope it does. She deserves it.
Well, thank you, Gandhi. I'm sure your endorsement will add gravitas to her decision.
Hey now, Doreen, there's no need for that.
Gandhi were an Indian, Doreen, from Gujarat.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Gregory. I'll rewrite my homework.
I'm not sure I'd actually want you as one of my pupils.
All right, whoa, slow down. We're all a bit hyper and excited, and we need to slow down. As Judith expressed last week, she'd like a little bit more independence in her day-to-day life.
Yes, but we were doing that.
And as frustrating as that can be, I think it's good to see the emergence of her taking control over things. But we still have to work as a group.
I'm sorry, darling.
Now, before we move on, is there anything anybody would like to say? Anything important that's happened in the last week?
Oh yes, me. I received a letter.
And you want us to help you read it?
No, Doreen. Actually, no. Because despite what you think, there are some of us down there who can actually function. I mean, you wouldn't see it because you've got your head so far up your perfumed ass that the delicate haze affects your eyesight. Now, where was I? Oh yes, my letter. A letter I've been waiting for a long time. So, with the help of Roy I started a search for a relative who, for various reasons, I had lost contact with. My sister. And then this week, this letter arrived from New Zealand, and unknown to me, she's been there for the last 30 years. I mean, I know a lot of water's gone under the bridge, but in the new year, she's coming to see me. All the way from New Zealand just to see me. I can't believe it.
I hope you have a wonderful time, Patricia. I'm sure you've got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, we have Doreen.
And you will let us know how you get on with it, Pat?
Yeah, of course I will.
I've got an announcement too.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd like to organise a night out.
Oh.
Just a little outing before we break up for Christmas. You know, after all our hard work, I think we deserve it.
Yeah, we bloody well do.
Now, a friend of mine works at the Grand and we've been offered cheap tickets.
When, Roy?
About 3 weeks' time, December the 15th.
What are we going to see, Roy?
Madame Butterfly.
Oh, Roy, are you joking? Opera? I don't think so.
No, it'll be wonderful.
Even though you're fat and ugly, I love you.
Yeah, opera.
Don't say it as though you've got a bad taste in your mouth. Open your mind, you'll love it.
Exactly, Gregory. We should all strive to experience new things.
Yeah, well, I've heard of liposuction. Doesn't mean I want to try it. Perhaps you should. Piss off.
Well, I think we should go.
Really, Frank?
Yes, a society needs the arts, the spirit needs stimulation, and music and theatre, well, they feed the soul.
Absolutely, and it shows how civilised a nation is.
No, I wouldn't go quite that far.
I'd like to go, if I can.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, all right then, I'm outnumbered. Count me in.
Yeah.
I'll have to get my furs out of storage.
Good, good. Right, then I'll arrange it. Well, I think it's important that we experience something as a group, and then we can gauge our reactions to it, yeah? I'll print out the story in English so we can all follow what's going on. Now, who's forgot their photos?
Oh, shit.
Yes. You are more. A little one. Anybody else?
Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa.
No, Christ, she's off.
I'm so sorry, Roy. It's been such a hectic week. What with the ladies' night at the lodge and the
It's
annual
all right.
PCC
It's
general.
okay, don't worry. We probably won't get round to everybody anyway. Now, I asked you to bring in a photograph. A photograph of when you were young. I said choose it carefully because it should depict a time when you believed you were truly happy. Some moment captured as evidence of time and space.
Dun, 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 dun.
What's that?
Doctor Who theme, you know, TV programme.
Oh, we don't have one.
You what? You don't have a
So
telly?
let's get going. Then any volunteers to go first?
Oh, okay, somebody has to, I suppose.
Well
Yeah,
done,
right.
Greg.
Here's my photo.
All right. All right, can you pass Greg's photo along so everybody can have a look at it? So let's study it carefully.
Oh, what a bobby dazzler.
The people, the place. Remember, if there's anything about that photograph that really strikes you, what impression does that photograph make on you?
Is that your mother?
Ah, that's her there, yeah.
And your brother?
Oh, no, that's a school friend, though. Yeah.
Where's your father, Greg?
I don't know. Oh, I think he were taking the photo, Greg.
As you're looking at Greg's photo, think, can you relate to it in any way? Does it ring any bells? Yeah? When you finish, hand it back.
Where was it taken?
In our back garden.
All right then. Greg, come and sit here. In the middle. Now, don't look at anybody. Just concentrate hard on the photograph. Now, when you're ready, in your own time, I want you to tell us what was going on and what you were feeling.
Alright, well, as you can probably tell, this is me, Mum and Richard in our back garden. I'd have been, what, 14, 15 at the time? I think it were the Easter holidays. Richard's mum were always ill. She were a widow and was always sickly. So we used to spend, you know, most of the time with us. Mum and Dad welcomed him like a second son. I think in a way they wished that he had been. I never actually got round to asking them why they never had any more children. I think I know now why. Anyway, Rich and I took a lot of the same subjects. Not all. I mean, he did chemistry and biology. I did religious education and social studies. But we always looked forward to French. We was both excellent at it. So much so that we used to speak it out of class. You know, in the playground, the dining room. The other lads knew we were talking about them, and they'd get a bit aggressive. What were we saying? They didn't know. Anyway, we also used to speak it at my house. Mum used to get a bit cheesed off. I think looking back, she was probably a bit jealous. Anyway, he used to come to our house most weekends.
Here, Gregory, quick, put this somewhere.
What's this, Mum?
Shh, and don't tell your father.
£10? Thanks.
You and Richard go and enjoy yourselves. Hey, there's a new James Bond film out. You can go and see that if you like.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Dixon.
Oh, you're more than welcome, Richard. Now, I'm going shopping and your dad's turning his potatoes, so you two really enjoy yourselves.
Mum was great back then. She still used to drive. Used to take me and Richard to all these National Trust places. She'd sit in the car reading a book, and we'd wander off together, explore the grounds.
And your father?
What about him?
Did he never come with you?
No, he never did. It were either me, Mum, or Richard, or just me and Mum.
Well, you're close to him.
Never really figured in my life. Fishing, gardening, this thing.
Solitary pursuits.
Exactly. So how can you be close to somebody who's never really there? Somebody you don't even know. Anyway, that's all really.
So your mum was...
I said that's enough.
Alright, well thanks for that. Greg?
My eldest is gay.
You won't.
Oh, Craig, my eldest, he's gay.
I'm sorry.
I mean, we have a great time. Sometimes I go to the clubs with him and everything.
Me and what?
And you're not?
No!
Well, you won't die curious, will you?
You've got a bloody cheek! Look, you can think what you like! Anyway, what God-given qualification have you got that enables you to tell?
The best one, love. I'm a mum.
And?
We know. We just know. Same as yours did.
Look, Pat, unless somebody states something, as a fact, we don't judge them, okay?
That's awful.
What is?
Everything. Gregor is a teacher, for goodness sake. He couldn't be. And as for you sharing your brother's son's perversions, well, I...
Listen, I love my son. I would do anything for him.
Oh, right. Well, you obviously don't love him enough to teach him the difference between right and wrong.
Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being gay, it's just that I'm not okay!
Alright, listen, we've raised some issues here and we need to calm down a bit. And then if appropriate, we'll come back to them another time. Let's just move on, shall we? Anybody else? Please.
Yeah, alright, I will.
Great. Thank you, Dawn. Oh, right.
Oh, a healthy looking child.
Oh, you were a plump little thing.
In them days, yeah.
Where was it taken?
On the beach at Skegness. All there before.
Alright then, Dawn, come and sit down here and tell us about your photo. So, you were on holiday?
Yeah, we went for 2 weeks every year. Our our nan. It was well hot. We'd spent the morning on the beach and then Dad had taken me for a swim. I were building sand castles when Dad woke up.
Oh, that's my princess. I must have dropped off. What are you doing?
Playing.
Oh, that's a good sandcastle you built there, strong and secure. Do you fancy another swim?
No thanks.
Well, how about coming for a walk with your dad?
Where?
Well, we could paddle with our feet in the sea, walk along with our feet on the sand.
Not far.
No, not far, just to the pier and back. Hey, I might be able to stretch to another ice cream, but don't tell your mum.
Okay.
Where are you taking her now?
A walk. We're going for a little walk.
No.
But
I said no. She's done enough for one day. She's tired.
I'm not.
I said no, and that's final. Now go and clean your bucket and spade in that pool, darling. It's getting windy. We'll be going home soon for our tea.
Can we have chocolate eclairs again?
Food, food, food. That's all you seem to think about nowadays. Go on.
I'll go over to the pool. It had been a lovely day. They think I can't hear them, but I can.
leave her be. She's on holiday, she's happy.
Leave her be. Why don't you leave her be? Let her play.
She has played all day.
With you, yes. Let her play with other kids.
No, she's safer with me.
Oh, for God's sake.
What?
She needs to play with other kids. She
What?
needs to live a little.
Oh, you're crazy.
Oh, well, you're always...
What?
Nothing.
No, go on, what?
Forget it.
You're crazy.
No, I'm not. Just remember, one day you won't be there.
I will. I'll always be there.
Really?
I'm finished. All clean.
Oh, lovely, darling. Do you fancy going to the pictures tonight?
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, Princess?
Yeah.
Come on then. Hold your daddy's hand.
I'm okay.
She's okay.
I'm okay. Honest.
Were you happy?
Yeah, I was. Very. I mean, they worshipped me. It weren't really until later years that things got difficult.
In what way?
Boyfriends. I could have them, but he made it so difficult. They was grilled. They didn't know what would come in. He'd ask if they wanted to see his football stuff, and to go in the front room. Then 10 minutes later, the lad would come out, white as a sheet, looking like he'd had a close shave with Hannibal Lecter. Well, in my dad's case, he'd wash down their testicles with a pint of lager.
How was the way your father handled things make you feel about him now?
Confused. They're divorced now, and my mum won't have anything to do with me because, well, they blame me for everything.
Do you think you're to blame?
I don't know. I thought what I'd done was right. If that's the reason they split, then when I found out I was going to have a kid, I knew I had to look after the baby. So it's not my fault. Is it?
No, of course not, no. All right, well, thank you, Dawn.
Can I ask a question, Roy?
Well, I'd rather you didn't, if you don't mind, Greg. There'll be time for questions another time, but let's move on. Who's next? Oh, Judith, all right. Okay, Judith, come and sit in the chair. And tell us about your photo.
Well, it's a birthday party.
What, yours?
Oh, no. Someone from school.
Right. How old were you?
I was 7. The party was my friend Sandra's. We sat together at school. I remember being so excited that day. Not just for the party. I remember feeling alive. It's only now I realise that what I actually was feeling was freedom. You see, we...
Judith, tell me. Most people are brought in family photos with brothers and sisters. This shows a time when you weren't with your family. Why is that? Judith?
Almighty and most merciful Father, I have erred and strayed from thy ways like a lost sheep. I have followed too much thee. I can't remember.
You can, you will. Devices. Devices.
I have followed too much the devices and desires of my own heart. That party was a rare occurrence in my life. I've been allowed out to mix with other children. Oh, they weren't happy, worried I'd be contaminated by the outside world. I'd never known a world without religion, and I thought all families were the same. It wasn't until I started school I realised. Monday mornings were the worst. Other children talking about what they'd done at the weekends, at fun fairs, cinemas, what they'd watched on television. It was then I realised that my life was fundamentally different.
Who were you talking to?
No one.
You were talking to them children.
Oh, they asked me a question. I couldn't just ignore them.
Question? What question?
I can't remember.
Liar! And we all know what happens to little liars, don't we?
Yes.
What?
They spend an eternity with Satan.
Forever burning in the flames of hell.
Go to your room.
Oh,
Go
but
to your room and pray.
It was getting dark by the time they came to my room. I must have been there a couple of hours. I thought that they'd come to rant and rave, but they hadn't.
Come with us.
Where are we?
You need to be taught a lesson.
Cleanse you of your sins.
Reclaim your voice to speak the blessed words of the Lord.
He marched me to the bathroom. I didn't know what was going on. Suddenly, he grabbed me from behind and bent me over the sink. She prized open my mouth and scrubbed my mouth with soap. I heaved. I retched. I was sure I was going to be sick, but I wasn't. Even now, just the whiff of night's Castile knocks me nauseous.
How do you think your childhood has affected your day-to-day life as an adult?
Oh, well, nothing's changed.
Meaning?
They're not physically abusive anymore, but the control's still there.
Well, why do you let them?
Because it's easier. I learned long ago, it just saves arguments.
Compliant.
Roy, can I stop there? I think I've said enough.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, Jesus. Thank you. Just one final question. Where do your parents think you are tonight?
Oh, Bible study. Bible study. Oh, so you're still telling lies then?
All right, let's take a 5-minute break there, shall we? 5 minutes, everyone.
I hate religion, me. It's the cause of all the problems in the world.
Oh, that's sad. That's very sad. There are those of us who find sustenance in our faith. It offers great support.
Well, in my experience, Mother Teresa, the only support that me and my family have had is income support.
So it's arrived then?
Yeah, it all come yesterday. I haven't had a chance to look at it properly, but they're all there. Edinburgh, Bristol, Birmingham and Sheffield. Should be a big help.
Wicked man. What time Thursday?
What, you still coming?
Why not?
Well, after all that nonsense.
You think that changes anything?
I don't know, does it?
Eh?
Cool.
Sweet.
That's why I hate nuns. Nuns? Yeah. I went to Catholic school, me. Phew, yeah. You should have seen me in my black stockings and my navy gym knickers. Oh, I tell you, if I dressed like that nowadays, I'd earn a fortune. Really? Mind you, the spiteful cows, them nuns, you know. Don't let that Sound of Music shit fool you. If they've got the love of God in their hearts, they've got it bloody well hidden. I was always getting in trouble, me.
Department of no surprise.
There was this one time, right, in geography. The head penguin, she comes in. She's a right fat cow. She's always wolfing her food down. Anyway, she comes into the class, stands at the front, all solemn and holy like. Girls, I have a terrible announcement to make. I thought, I knew it, I bloody knew it. They've caught Sister Gwendolyn with her hand up Sister Paula's habit. But no such luck. We have a case of gonorrhea in the school.
No.
Yeah, So I pipes up, a case of gonorrhea. Well, I hope it's better than that soddy leaf brown milk they sent us last I did. Oh, God, I got my arse tanned, but it was worth it. Just to hear the rest of the girls up and down the corridors singing, how do you solve a problem like gonorrhea? You're wicked. I know, but it's great, isn't it?
You sure your sins will find you out?
Yeah, let him who is without sin cast the first stone.
What's this?
It's a present.
For me?
No, for Danny.
Eh?
Danny, it's for Danny.
What is it?
Well, it's just a little something I
And
saw.
what's this?
Well,
I don't want it.
no.
I said I don't want it. We don't need charity. Look, it's not yours. Not anybody's. Alright? Understand? Now piss off.
I don't
Leave it. Just leave it.
All right, and the next contestant is...
Me. I'll go next.
Thank you.
Is this your parents and your brother, Frank?
Yes,
And which one's you?
I'm on the left.
How much older was he, Frank?
2 years older.
Any sisters?
No, just my parents and my brother,
What was his name?
Jacob.
You look very contented.
Oh yes, we were. Do you know, that photograph is nearly as old as I am, yet I can picture that day as if it were yesterday. My father had come home early from school. He was a teacher. He had a look in his eye, a mischievous twinkle. We could always tell when he got a surprise planned. He told us to go and get dressed in our very best clothes. Well, my mother protested, but she couldn't hold out for long. Oh no, she worshipped him, and they adored us. Oh yes, me and Jacob were the apple of their eyes, and we knew it.
Rachel, hurry up, we don't have time.
Hurry, always hurry. And for what?
Soon you will know.
Where are we to go? Tell us.
We have to know.
You have to know? Why you should have to know? So you can spoil my plans?
Oh, Mutty, tell him.
It's not fair.
Of course it's not fair. He teases you. Come by me, Jacob, and I will comb your hair. You too, Isaac.
So, we are finally ready, eh? Jacob, Isaac, yes? So, we go.
That's right. Isaac Nathaniel Frankel. The surprise that he'd planned was that very photographs. Well, photographs were expensive in those days, but my father decided he wanted a memento of his family and his world. Afterwards, we went to Tempelstrasse for ice creams. I had chocolate flavour. No, that photograph is the last day I can remember of us all together, captured in time. It was only on the way home that I began to realise what might be in store for us.
Well. What do we have here? 4 little Jews?
Good evening, officer.
Is it? What do you think you're doing?
I'm sorry?
In the road! Now,
I don't understand.
these footpaths are not for you or your delightful little family. Therefore, may I respectfully suggest that you would be safer to walk in the road.
But Mother, you told us to always walk on the footpath.
Kinder.
Thank you. Thank you, officer. I'm much obliged to you for your advice. Come, children. Good night.
Guten Abend. Oh, and do take care. God forbid something could happen to you.
As the weeks went by, my parents were frantic. It was a dilemma for them, you see. They loved us so much that they couldn't bear to be separated from us. But eventually a decision had to be made, and finally they made it. My brother and I would travel on one of the last trains taking refugee children from Austria to England. When the day came, my mother couldn't stop crying, and my father, oh, it was difficult for him. He tried to be brave, but inside I knew his heart was breaking. But I didn't know why. My mother sent Jacob to get some food for our journey. She knew a shop that would still sell us things. Then on his way home, catastrophe. He got knocked over by a tram. An accident, a silly, stupid accident. Well, he broke his leg. Travel was impossible, so what to do? My mother was horrified at the thought of me travelling on my own, but they knew, or at least they suspected, what might happen to me if I didn't go. So I left, and I like to think that being with my brother brought them some comfort in their final months. You can tell. I never saw or heard from them again.
Don't be naive. If you invite a chef to dinner, do you really expect them to think, this is nice? Get real. It's their job. They might say, this is nice, but they can't switch it off. They have to dissect the food. Instinctively they'll think, not enough basil, too much garlic. So yes, I lie. I tell people I don't analyse them when I first meet them. But if I didn't say that, they never talk to me at parties. It's bad enough as it is. Oh, and what do? And you tell them, you can see them pull back, physically and emotionally. Oh, you're not starting to analyse me, they'll say. Don't worry, I'm off duty. Starting to analyse them. How can I tell them I've been weighing them up ever since they walked in the door? You see, the mistake people make is because you understand them, they think you also judge them. That's wrong. Another misconception is that I'm some kind of saint. Well, I can't like everybody. Some people get right up my nose. No names. but if my instinct is to dislike them, then I ask the question, why? What's happened to them to make them such angry, difficult people? You probably won't believe me, but this lot, they're a very typical little bunch. Do I like them? Yeah, I do. But be honest though, when you first met them, I bet you thought you got them all sussed in the first 5 minutes, correct? But you know what? Each life is full of cracks. It's like an old cracked teapot. It has a history. And each fault in the glaze, well, they represent stories. And it's those stories that make us what we are today. Good or bad, I can't change that. Can't rewrite history. Sometimes I wish I could. I like to think I can, well, smooth things out a little. Do I ever fail? Yeah, of course I do. I'm not a bloody miracle worker. But I try. Whether it's worth the effort or not, I'll have to wait and see. Be patient with my patience. It's a bit like waiting for superglue to dry. You're never quite sure it's worked until you take your hands away. Then again, if I wanted a job where I'd be successful even though I fail, I'd have become a lawyer.
At-home me. This is the dutiful son, keeping his head down and keeping up traditions, me. Yeah, I like Frank. He's a nice man. Yes, I know he's a Jew and I'm a Muslim, but we've actually got quite a lot of things in common. Well, Mum and Dad has. See, they both had to travel thousands of miles just to survive. You know what? In a way, we are like the new Jews. No shit. See, like them, when we got here, we worked hard and established ourselves. But now, used to be a bloody novelty. Now we're like two a penny. Christ, man, the BBC's overrun with us. You see, like a naan bread, we start to rise. We may get a bit charred round the edges, but if you can't stand the heat, get out the tandoori. Yeah. Don't worry about me. I'm sorted. Yeah. Sometimes I think I should join the circus and been a juggler. And yeah, it does get me down occasionally. Sometimes I think I'm going a bit schizo. Family versus friends. Religion versus nightclubs. Girlfriends. Girlfriends versus family and religion. Look, relax, just chill. It will all work out. It's got to.
Allah.
I'm coming. Right. This stuff stinks.
I didn't know any different. That was my life. 4 sisters, 1 brother and our mam. Our wonderful mam. Life was noisy, busy, hectic, but never dull. There was always something going on.
How did your mother cope? It couldn't have been easy.
She managed, she had to, but she was an inspiration. I mean, can you imagine a widow with 6 children to bring up and a shop to run? I don't know how she did it, but she did. Of course, she was lucky. Running the shop from our house meant she could keep her eye on us. And believe you me, she did. It was exciting for us kids. People coming and going. We felt important, involved, loved.
And were you?
Oh yes, greatly loved. I mean, we may not have had much, but when you know that your only parent is making incredible sacrifices just to keep the family together, well, you don't forget that easily. Compared to a lot of families, we were quite well off. We always had new shoes and coats, and there was always food on the table. Of course, when I met my Nigel, I moved out. And eventually, in the 1980s, after my sister Angela got married, she closed down. She died about 6 years ago. Same as ever, drinking her gin, taking her snuff, tough as old boots. But she instilled in me good old-fashioned traditions, cleanliness, hard work, self-reliance. I nearly get down on knees every day and thank God for a mother like mine. I miss you, Mum, wherever you are.
Do you think your early experiences affected the way you brought up your own?
Anthony? Oh, well, I hadn't really thought about it. He spent more time with Nigel, the football matches, car racing, but I suppose it must have had some kind of effect, so, yes.
All right, well, thanks for that. Thanks for sharing the story.
Oh, you're very welcome, Roy. I'm only sorry it took me so long to bring in my photo, but what with Christmas in Tenerife and the decorators making such a mess, still, I'm ticked off your list now, yes?
Yes, indeed, yeah. Right, everybody, time for our news round. What's been happening?
Oh, well, so the other weekend.
Such keenness. A little different from the 7 timid souls that walked in last October.
Roy, are you joking? I've never been timid in my life.
No, you know I didn't mean you, Pat. But you've changed a bit, I think you all have.
Yeah? Yeah, I suppose we have.
Right then, so who's first? Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Roy. It's been a hard week. I'm not just talking about school either. No, that's always hard. I had a phone call on Monday lunchtime from my dad in the staff room. It was my mother. She'd been up all weekend being sick. He said he would taking her to the doctors at 4 and would I call round after school. I didn't think anything of it to begin with. Then the doctor sent her to a specialist for some tests. It's not looking good. So obviously this has forced me to focus on a few issues.
Such as?
Such as my relationship with her and my father.
And have you come to any conclusions?
Yeah, I am.
Would you Mind sharing with us?
I realise she's my world, my friend, my confidant, my support. And the chances are I'm going to be left being consoled by a man I don't even know or even understand. Roy, I've got this horrible feeling that my life is about to change big time, and it ain't never going to be the same again. I know I have to go, but I don't know if I can. Roy, I'm scared. I'm absolutely terrified.
Of course you are, Craig. And you know what? That's perfectly natural. When big things happen to us, it can be very traumatic. What is it they say about death, moving house and getting divorced?
The three most stressful things in life. Still, according to Pat, I won't have to worry about the getting divorced people.
But you know what? People continue. Different, changed forever, but they do carry on. And I know it's no comfort, but when the time comes, you'll be amazed at the hidden strength you've got, honest.
Well, let's hope so. Thanks a lot.
Just keep us informed, eh?
Yeah.
Do. Now, Patricia.
Oh, right, well, as you all know, because I've bored you shitless for the last few weeks, my sister arrived on Thursday and I am so excited I can hardly sleep. But the last few days I've started to feel a bit nervous.
Why is that, you think?
Easy, what ifs?
Sorry?
My head is full of what ifs. Like, what if I don't like her, or worse still, she can't stand me? What if she's all posh and successful, or what if we just don't get on? What if she's a sister that I don't remember, Roy?
Well, then you'll deal with it. You'll hopefully make allowances and adapt, compromise.
What if it doesn't work out though? What if the whole trip is a disaster?
Then you'll be sad. But you'll get over it. After licking your wounds and retreating, you're thinking, oh well, at least now I know. You won't be going to bed every night with hundreds of questions in your heart. There'll be a sort of peace. You can move on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. You're right, Roy. At least I'll know.
And, by the way, I think you're worrying needlessly, though. And if your sister does manage to get a word in edgewise, do tell us what she says, won't you?
I will, don't worry.
All right, who's next? Mo?
No, I've changed my mind. Am I?
You sure?
Yeah.
Fair enough. That just leaves Dawn.
My dad phoned me.
Oh, Dawn, that's lovely.
Is it?
Oh, you don't feel that way?
No, I don't.
Well, perhaps you should see what he wants.
I know what he wants, all right.
And what's that?
He wants to try and talk me round.
Well, he is your dad. I mean, maybe he wants a second chance.
Some daddy turned out to be.
Hey, now you only ever have one father.
So fucking what? Better to have no dad at all than a bastard like that. I'm sorry, Frank. I weren't thinking. I'm sorry. Look, he had his chance and he blew it.
So how did you leave things with him?
Yes, if you could write to me.
And what did you say?
I said he can, but I won't read it. I won't.
I think you might.
No way.
All right. Anything else? All right then. Well, that's it for tonight. Oh, before we go though, time's marching on. We've only got about 5 weeks to go, and we've still got a lot to get through. So, homework.
Oh, Roy.
Look, for a future session, I want you to think about somebody you admire, a famous person, right, either living or dead, past or present. Think about why you admire them, and be prepared to explain yourself. All right? Okay. Oh. Oh, and before you ask, no, it's not an excuse to slag everybody off.
Oh, Roy, you promised.
Thanks for the warning, Roy. I think I've got another 2 helmets in the gallery.
eat chocolate. How is he? Over the chest infection?
He's fine. The antibiotics cleared it up. Thank you, but you shouldn't.
Well, it stops me wasting me money on horses and loose women.
Pat, you wanted.
Dory, don't you know it wouldn't cost Frank a penny? Because I do it for free.
I believe it.
And anyone coming to the pub?
No, not tonight, Pat. We'll get straight home.
Oh, all right then. Dory?
Brock.
Oh, don't you worry about that, love. I've got a full house at the Mecca on Saturday. So you're coming.
Okay, I will. I need it.
May I join you, ladies?
Oh, Francis. I never thought you'd ask.
Night all.
What about you, Doreen? You coming?
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, Frank, but Nigel will be waiting.
Bring him too.
Oh, yes. I'd love to meet naughty Nigel.
Yeah, and I bet you can't wait to meet you, Pat.
Yeah, I think we'd have quite a lot in common.
Yes, well, common being the operative word. Perhaps another evening, Frank. Au reservoir, everybody.
Right, I better get on the road.
Oh, no, you don't, pretty boy. You are coming with us, so shut your gob.
Honey, wheeze your bitches down and you's gonna show us a good time.
What about you, Judith? Are you coming?
Yeah, what am I?
Oh, well, don't worry about it, love. Oh, did you say yeah? I thought I might give it a try. Well, flick my nipples. What your Chris is going to say? Your dad is going to drop a bollock. Pat, as far as I'm concerned, he can drop both of them. Right, well, come on then. I think there's a male stripper on at 10. A stripper? Oh, good. Hey, will he show us his old man? It's what Pat calls it. I know, love, but it sounds so funny coming from you. Well, I'm 28 and I've never seen one.
Well then, it is high time that you did.
Come on. Oh, and when you do, in the world of men, that is 9 inches.
Did you know I often thought
I stop and stare at you, walking on the shore. I try to concentrate, my mind wants to...
You're right. I do feel a bit of a fraud. But there's no denying it. I shouldn't be here. Not me. Look, I can understand their situations. I can sympathise. But that's all I can do. I should have left after the first week. I mean, what have I got in common with these sort of people? And if I'm honest, I find the whole thing, well, I'm sorry, but it's all a bit tacky, distasteful. I was brought up to keep private things private. As my mother used to say, it stays behind the front door. And she was right, it should. I mean, take that young thing. She parades her illegitimate child like it's some sort of trophy. In my day, you'd keep your shame to yourself. Invent some kind of story about how the father was killed in an accident or something. Frank? Well, he's a pleasant enough soul and, well, I do genuinely feel sorry about his family, but you can't sit about moping, can you? And he's never once mentioned he's in any way grateful for us taking him in. The coloured boy's bright and cheerful enough, but there again, I do feel his place would have been better taken by a British person. One who's paid their taxes and such like. And as for Pat, oh, don't get me started. And as I said to Marjorie, if they'd only taught her one word at school, it would have been worth it. If the word no had passed her lips a little bit more often, she wouldn't have 5 mouths to feed. Or rather, we wouldn't have to look after them via the state. She's said she thought I was being a bit hard. Oh, I don't know where she gets that idea from. I have found myself dwelling on the past recently, though. Nigel called me wandering off, as he put it. I can't believe it's good for you, all this raking over things. I got quite upset, actually. Well, I hadn't looked at a photo of my mother in... I said we'd had the decorators in. Well, I couldn't put it off forever. I could sense Roy was starting to get suspicious. I couldn't find one anywhere. Not even sure I've still got one. Then, when I stumbled on the photo of Auntie Maggie and my cousin, I thought, why not? They'll do. A lie? Well, a white one maybe. But it was my mum I was remembering the whole time. Honestly, it was. Oh, yes. And what would you know about it?
I stop and stare at you, walking on the shore. I try to concentrate, my mind wants to explore.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Roy. Happy birthday to you.
You buggers! Happy birthday, Roy!
We're going to give you the bums after.
Oh, really?
My mum made the cake, Roy.
Sorry, Roy, I didn't have time to make one.
Hey!
Hooray! How did you know?
Oh, you showed your driving licence and Mo spotted your date of birth.
You seriously are ancient, man.
I know, I'm listening. Monument.
Here you go, Roy. Have some pizza. It'll go and cheese at Netto.
We've still got lots to do, you know.
Well, we thought we could combine the two, you know, a sort of a working lunch.
Is that okay, then?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Hey, how's things?
Oh, not so good. Mother starts chemo.
No, I'm sorry. The search, you made a decision.
No, I haven't, not yet.
We'll talk later.
Okay, join the party.
So, how does it feel to be old as Des O'Connor?
Oh, yeah, not that old. Not yet. Hey, you with from Daddy? Daddy okay?
He's okay, except he's teething.
Alright, and did you get a letter?
Yes, and of course, you were right.
You read it? I'm pleased.
I wasn't. He wanted me to visit him.
Alright, where's he living?
Brixton Prison.
See? Familiar?
No, still, it might be worth it to see him behind bars.
Hey, is June okay?
Oh, Roy, we're having a wonderful time. Wonderful.
And the what ifs?
Oh, that was just me being stupid. It's like she's never been away.
Oh, I'm really pleased. When's she going back?
Oh, day after tomorrow.
Right. Has she told you?
No, not really, but I'm hoping she will. I'm meeting her in the pub after.
So, how's our birthday, boy? I always thought you were Aquarius. Now I know.
You don't believe in all that nonsense, do you?
Of course. It's very telling. For instance, you. Tubby loves his food. I'd say you were a Taurus.
yes, you're right.
I knew it.
What about me, Doc?
Oh, that's easy, young man. Libra.
Yeah, you're right. So, what am I like then?
Balanced, easygoing, placid.
Handsome, elegant, charming.
Clunkers. All right then, Doc. Go on. What about me?
Oh, let me see. Two-faced, Gemini.
No.
Vicious sting, Scorpio.
No.
Are you sure? Oh, I don't know then, I give up.
Go on, think about it. useful, handy to have around, fits in anywhere.
Go on.
I was born under the sign of Durex. Roy!
You okay?
I am bloody marvellous. Never better.
Right, and home?
Well, do you mean my old one or my new one?
What?
Yes, I have departed my residential abode. Good for you, Yes, good for me.
Oh, when did this happen?
Saturday, well, actually, I was thrown out. Cast onto the streets without a penny to me name. Told never to darken their double glazed vestibule again.
Why?
Because I told them
Told them what?
about the old man.
No. What's old man?
The one in the pub.
What's old man in the pub?
Huge old man. Like a baby's arm. Oh, Roy.
Yeah.
Oh, Roy. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Don't make a mess, Judith.
It's amazing how one person can change a life.
Totally and utterly transform you.
Turn everything upside down. I've not heard from him in a long time.
Years, in fact. But every day,
I think of him.
I try and imagine what it looks like now. Older, fatter, married.
I can picture him. Older, thinner, divorced. He was everything to me.
Everything. When you spend so much time with someone,
See them every day of your life.
you never stop to think.
One day, this will end.
They vanish
Disappear.
into thin air. The last time I saw him,
Was at the end of the trial.
we were at the end of term. We never had the chance
To say goodbye.
to say au revoir. Well, not properly.
Not properly.
And since then,
Ever since, my life's just stopped.
come to a halt.
I'm stuck.
Frozen. I want to move on.
Get on with my life. But I can't.
You see what he did?
What he did to me was so
Wonderful.
awful. He
Kissed me so tenderly. He
beat me so savagely.
You don't ever think life can be
Worse
better
than this.
than this.
People never stop to think
They don't realise.
the effect they have on others.
One word
One action.
can make you feel
Like shit.
like a king.
Like a princess.
Like shit.
So, I've decided
I'm going to
I'll contact him.
make contact.
You see,
You see,
when all is said and
at
done,
the end of the day,
in spite of this,
because of this, I
I still love him.
I am so full.
Oh, me too. I am stuffed. I feel a bit sick.
Well, there is a saying, your eyes are bigger than your belly. Here, take that and go and clear that table for me, will you?
Favourite things have always been my weakness.
I agree.
If it's a choice between a starter and a dessert, then pate and smoked salmon will win every time.
Where do you say that pizza was from, Pat?
Netto.
Nice, thanks.
Netto, I've never heard of it.
No, wouldn't have that.
Why not?
It's just a bit out of your league.
Think?
No, it'll just be facetious, though.
Oh, I see, and he knows what the word means, does he?
Facetious, meaning flippant, not serious. Though it actually was, though.
They're all the same, really. Netto, Lidl, Aldi. Although Aldi's getting a bit expensive lately.
Oh yeah, it has.
Aldi, Lidl, Netto. What are these shops? Where are they?
Well, they're nowhere near where you live, Doreen, and that's the for sure. If they were, you'd soon have got up a petition. They're lifeline shops.
Lifeline? Is that some sort of chain?
Are you being serious, Dorothy?
Yes, why?
Lifeline shop, Doreen. I won't keep the poor people going. They have to put up with long queues, no staff, trolleys that don't give the pound back.
Why on earth would they do that?
Because they're cheap. It's the only way that some folk can make ends meet.
Oh, wow. Thank God for M&S.
M&S, why am I not surprised? Still, anybody who chooses Margaret Thatcher as the first they most desire, then, well, they're hardly to be shopping at Netto, are they?
She's a great lady.
Cow, you mean? Oh, God, don't get me started. I can feel myself boiling just thinking about the mare.
She was wonderful.
Tell that to the miners.
Yeah, and the industrial town she decimated up north. She was bloody evil.
No, just don't start all this again. God, I had enough of this earlier.
Your idea, Rowan.
You did tell us to choose somebody, Roy.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And I'm surprised at you, Gregory, a teacher who'd like to do away with the royal family. And as for your plans for Buckingham Palace, why not?
It would make a great hostel for the homeless. Bit and timber and plasterboard. What do you say, Frank? Should house about what? 2,000?
I'm good at woodwork, I'll give you a hand.
Oh, really? The royals do a wonderful job, and you should be setting an example, not sowing the seeds of discontent and jealousy.
They're parasites. A lot of them.
Hypocrites and liars.
Hey, I like the royal family.
Do you, Pat?
Yeah. Taxes my ass. It's a great programme.
All right, settle down, everyone. Come on. Let's pull the chairs into a semicircle and let's get going. Judith, you okay to join us?
Yeah. If I have to.
We'll sit down. Well, as usual with you lot, it's been unbelievable evening. Thank you for my party.
You're welcome,
That's
Frank.
right.
Love you.
I couldn't think of a nicer group to spend it with.
Cheers, Roy.
Plus, it was fascinating to hear about your list of people you admire. Some interesting and controversial choices, followed by what can only be described as a lively debate. Now, who'd have thought we got Frank Sinatra, Marilyn Monroe, Maggie Thatcher, Lenin, A.E. Houseman, Robbie Williams and Jane Austen all in one room together? Now, with 2 weeks to go, it's time to start summing up. Now, despite our differences, I think we've got to know each other pretty well. Well enough, I hope, to trust each other. So, I think we're ready to have questions asked of us and to answer them with honesty and truth. Okay? Bearing that in mind, Mo, go first.
Okay.
Now, a couple of weeks ago at a news round, you changed your mind about telling us something. And you've been a bit quiet lately, so I just feel you're holding something back. Why did you change your mind, and what were you going to say?
God, don't miss a trick, do you, Roy?
No.
I changed my mind. Not because I didn't trust the group. It's because at the time I hadn't really worked out what I was feeling.
Fair enough. Are you ready to talk to us now?
Yeah, I am. You see, I found out recently that my dad, he was having an affair. I came home one night to find my mum crying. My dad left his mobile at home by mistake and rang, and my mum answered it. And before she could even get a word in, this woman said my dad's name, and then she said, "When are you going to come round?" And you can guess the rest.
So have you confronted your father?
No, not yet.
What issues has this raised?
It's made me question who I am.
You, love? What's it got to do with you?
Listen, To white people, I'll always be defined by my religion and my colour. So I'll always be seen as someone who's been assimilated. But my parents, they expect me to keep up with tradition, go to the mosque, or arrange marriage, etc. But they forget, I was born here. They have no idea what that's like. I grew up with Blue Peter, Cadbury's chocolate, top of the pops. I'm in between two worlds, having to please everybody. And I was trying the hardest to make it work, and not always getting it right. But now I don't want to know.
Yeah, but you can still make it work.
But that's forced the issue, Greg. It's backed me into a corner.
In what way?
I have to face the fact that everything my dad stood for was a lie.
Not necessarily.
How do you make that out, Frank?
Well, just because one man makes a mistake, it doesn't mean his whole culture, his whole existence is null and void. It doesn't negate the whole of his life, and, well, maybe your dad's struggling as well.
I don't get you.
Well, maybe he's got problems of his own. Arranged marriage, husband, father, businessman, trying to be a proud member of your community. No, I know what it's like to land in an alien culture. Yes, and maybe there's pressures on him to forget his roots, just the same the root for you.
But that's no excuse for what he did.
Oh no, of course it's not. But it's also no excuse for you to make a wrong decision about your life over what somebody else has done. Yeah, we all are people we love. We continue to make stupid decisions despite us. Just don't fall into that trap, okay? It's not worth it.
I get what you're saying, Roy. But I can't forgive it.
No, you don't have to. Not yet. Just talk, eh? Get the facts.
You mean get his side of the story and decide later?
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe, Roy. Thanks.
Just don't do anything rash, all right?
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Roy.
Greg, talk to us.
Yeah, well, mothers know better, you know. I'm coping the best I can. But to be honest, that's not really the main issue with me at present. Do you remember, months ago now, how I overreacted when Pat suggested our game?
Remember? Christ.
Well, methinks it's a case of my lady doth protest too much. Shakespeare.
Hamlet?
Right.
What lady?
This lady.
Oh, Gregory, you're not going to have a sex change.
No, it's not. No, I've never admitted myself, but I'm a J.
But what about your mate, Richard? Didn't you? You know.
He's trying to say you did the business.
Yeah, we did, and it was lovely, but I was 14 or 15 at the time. And I realised it's what happened after Richard that caused me up. You see, everybody's different, aren't they? Some people stumble, fall, they get up, they carry on, but I didn't. I couldn't. I told myself my life were over. It was finished. I put my emotional, social and sexual life on hold. Permanently. Do you understand?
Not really, Craig.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, in a way, my situation is not dissimilar.
Sorry, I don't see that.
Well, when I lost my family, I lost everything I had. On paper, in theory, eventually, I should have been able to carry on. Why not? I'd got wonderful foster parents, no worries, a great life.
So why didn't you?
In theory, in practice, yes, but no, I suppose to the outside world, I did carry on. I'd got a job, a home, wife, but inside I was dead. Numb.
That's it. No. You're not living, are you? You're just existing.
Exactly. Observing rather than just participating. You see, when you think you've lost everything you have, it doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. It's your perception of your situation that counts. Yes. But then, well, you start to lose your trust in people, places, occasions even. No, you retreat.
I hope you don't mind me asking, Frank, but is that why, when you first came, you didn't seem that devastated that you just lost your wife?
I feel sorry about Pearl. It couldn't have been much fun for her. I must have seemed like a cold fish. Underneath, I adored her. But I thought, if I lose her, well, I just couldn't go through that again. Do you know, in all our married life, we never once went on holiday together. I hope she understood that it wasn't because I didn't want to go away with her. It was because, well, I was too frightened. Frightened to leave my home. And look what happened the last time I left home.
That's why my dad's inside.
Is he? Nobody told me.
I wonder why, Doreen.
Oh dear. Did he interfere with you?
No, you're sick. Why would you think that?
Well, because of all that obsession.
He never laid a finger on me, you damn. No, he did much worse than that. He took something from me. Somebody that I love.
Oh no, not your mum.
No. My boyfriend. Danny's father. He stabbed him.
Oh, Dawn, I am so sorry.
No offence, Pat, but don't be. If he couldn't have me, then I know what he's up to. I were a prosecution witness, and he thinks if he can get me back on his side, then they'll reduce his sentence to manslaughter. Fat chance. No way. Me holding out is my way of getting revenge.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
And is that what you want? Revenge? A world full of toothless blind people?
I thought I did. Now what? It's okay. I'm tough and I refuse to let it stop me. I've got Danny to look after and I'm going to need him as much as he needs me. Besides, he'll have his Uncle Frank to keep an eye on him. It's a shame, you know, that you and Pearl never...
Oh, but we did. Well, for 5 days we did. A boy. Daniel.
But Frank, I'm so sorry, I never...
A good Jewish name already. No, it's a shame. Those that desperately want children seem never to...
What's the matter with her?
She hasn't had too much to drink. Well, not for it.
You okay? You okay?
Sorry. I'm sorry. It's just... I think I might be pregnant.
No!
It were a false alarm. I weren't pregnant. So at least that was one choice I didn't have to make. And I'm glad I didn't say anything to our June before she went back. She was waiting for me that night. She'd left the pub early to come and find me. I saw her standing there in the doorway of Specsavers opposite. She gave me a bit of a shock, seeing her there in the shadows. She looked just like our mam. She was very quiet. I thought it was because of me. I was quite late, what with passing out and everything, but she said no, not to worry. She'd only been there 10 minutes. We went for a curry, gave the pub a miss. We both knew that there were important things that we needed to talk about before she went back, and we'd been putting them off, you know, like you do. We rambled on a bit, small talk. Then she started to ask about my mum and dad, which one had gone first and how my mum had coped after. Then she wanted to know whether they ever talked about her after she left. I don't think she could really believe it when I said there weren't a day that went by they didn't mention her. She got quite upset when I said that our man was crying out for her the day that she was dying. The silly buggers. If only they hadn't sent her away, things could have been so different. They were waiting for her to contact them. The silly... Oh, God, it makes me so angry. I had no idea how angry I was. Fuck! Fuck! Oh, sorry. Sorry, I don't usually swear. Anyway, as soon as I'd ordered my chicken tikka masala, I thought, right, here goes, and I dived straight in. Christ, I were not expecting what was coming next. In fact, I was gobsmacked, which, for me, takes some doing, I can tell you. I was convinced that she'd kept that baby. After all the shit that had flown around our house at the time. I never dreamed that she'd give it away. But apparently, she did. Her life was terrible though. So bad in fact that the father persuaded her to let him have the child because his new wife couldn't have kids. You see, I thought he'd done a bunk, but no. She knew exactly where he was and he kept tabs on her. Anyway, 6 months later, she meets this electrician, Dave. Well, this Dave is ambitious, keen to get on, so when he says Australia, she says, no way. And she sees how set his mind is on it, and rather than lose him, she agrees. We got cards, the odd letter. Then they started coming back unknown at this address. Well, after a year, you see, they'd moved to New Zealand. More work there, nicer people. So if her son had tried to find her, they wouldn't have been there. After coffee, she tells me she's been to Leeds that day. Tries to make out she's been shopping. Strange, I thought. And then the penny dropped. So I asked her straight out, have you found your son? And yeah, she had. And by any chance, does he live anywhere near Leeds? We laughed. She'd found him 2 months before I got in touch. His name's Matthew. Of course, I bombarded her with questions. She didn't really give much away though, and I kind of got the feeling she didn't really want to talk about it, so I let it drop. Anyway, she's been gone a week now. She called to tell me she got back okay. Said she'd write me a letter. I said I'd look forward to reading it. Still. At least now I know. No more what ifs. And all them pieces fit. And I've been sleeping like a baby, which is good, I think. We are going to a party. Everything's gonna be alright. We are going to a party. We're gonna swing out all night. Now do you wanna go?
I am starving.
Yeah, won't be long then.
Oh, I wish they'd hurry up though. What time are you eating, Roy?
Yeah, I booked the table, 7:30 for 8.
8 people or 8 o'clock?
4.
Great.
Hey, you okay with Chinese?
Yeah, should be. Just don't tell me what I'm eating. Say everything's chicken, I won't be bothered.
You're gonna eat everything.
Shh. People are funny about food though, aren't they?
Meaning?
Well, religious things aside. You know, I've even come up with a theory linking attitudes to food.
Oh yeah? What's that?
I call it closed palate, closed mind.
Hey.
What do you mean by that?
Well, have you noticed people who are the most fussy over their food also tend to be the most narrow-minded? Yeah, I've just observed people. I mean, we all have things that we don't like.
Such as?
Well, with me, it's celery and fennel.
Fennel.
Yuck. But it's the ones with a really long list that you have to watch. You see, I've noticed if they say nothing with too many garlic, onions, tomatoes, herbs, chilli, curry, cream, or whatever, then when you then get in close conversation with them, they're equally restricted in their things. Yeah. They have very closed opinions about religion, politics and sex.
Wait, aren't they the 3 forbidden things to talk about in the British society?
Yeah, but they're the only bloody things worth talking about.
And could it be that some people just don't like eating certain things?
Yeah, possibly. But attitudes are linked to tastes in food. And they're generational, they're usually handed down. And it's interesting that communities that are close-knit in some way, but separated either geographically or culturally, are usually the most set in their ways. I've got friends in Hull, and they're like that.
That's actually very interesting, my friend. I'm going to have to watch my job.
So, why do you think the British are so reluctant to talk about the big 3? Religion, sex and politics?
You know, I think it's because we're obsessed with not standing out. It's not that we don't have opinions, we do, very strong opinions. But from a young age, we're brought up not to draw attention to ourselves, which leads to a sort of false modesty, which the rest of the world sees us as being duplicitous.
Sorry?
You know, two-faced.
Oh, right.
And yet, compared with the rest of Europe, we are most definitely the most immature of nations.
Immature? In what way?
For an example? All right. At work, we've got this Spanish teacher called Maria. She's from Cordoba. And one day she comes to us and says, Greg, I am really confused. I say, why? She says, why are the British so obsessed with other people's private lives? I look in your newspapers and then print things in there that should be of no interest to anybody. Now in Spain, we would ask, why are they telling us this? It should be of no importance to anyone.
Yeah, isn't that just human nature, though? People being nosy.
No, it goes beyond that, Roy. She told us about this one night when she and some mates were out at a gay bar in Spain. They were sitting outside having a drink, you know, watching the families walk past. Now as the French, Italian and Dutch families walked past, they looked, registered the fact at a gay bar and walked on. No reaction. But the bloody British, oh my God. She said they were like children, smirking, giggling, nudging each other. Either that or a look of complete disgust crossed their faces. They grabbed the kids and whisked them off. You see, one generation passing their opinions to the next. She thought it were very sad.
Sad?
Yeah, sad. Sad that we're not able to accept anything outside our own experience. We're pathetic. We can't accept human nature for what it is.
So, what are you thinking, Roy?
You know, for once, I think I agree with him. Evening, one and all.
Hello. Nice stuff, Judith. Thanks. Frank helped me pick it out.
Oh, how you getting on with you, aren't you, Frank? She behaving herself.
Oh yes, not too bad. Mind you, my garden's a lot better since Judith came to live with me. So, are we all ready to taste the pleasures of the Orient?
Not half, I can eat a horse.
Careful you don't.
You heard from your parents, Jude?
Oh, it was as expected. Calling me a brazen harlot, me, an unmarried virgin living under the roof of a married man.
Hey, a widower.
Oh, I know that. Let's not tell them. Let's give them some sleepless nights. They gave me enough in my time.
Well, it won't do my reputation any good.
Wait till I tell them you're Jewish. They'll shit themselves.
Fred Bells!
Viola!
What have you got there, Joe?
Ah, wait and see.
Oh, Dor, you're such a tease.
Patience is a virtue, young man.
Now, Doreen, are you going to have a drink with us tonight?
Do you know, I think I might if it's a special occasion.
Great.
But I don't think I'll be able to eat very much. Do they do English, Roy? Only Chinese food's far too spicy for me.
Yeah, I think they do. Steak and chips and stuff like that.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, sorry I'm late. Our Tracy's got nicked, so I had to give her a shampoo and comb it all out. I am ravished. I've been starving myself all day. Mind you, they do a great spread at that place, don't they? Me and our Gary went there for our anniversary. We was stuffed.
Yeah, but you actually know what you're eating.
Whatever it is, my little Bargie, it'll be just like you, hot and spicy. what I'm going to order. Well, when you decide, I will order for you in Chinese.
What? You speak Chinese?
Yeah, I'm fluid in it.
Balls you are.
No shit. I learnt it right when I was in my maternity class having our Darren. There was this Chinese woman and she used to teach me a bit every week while I was hanging around.
Really?
Yeah, she was really nice, Mrs. Keenell.
Keenell?
Yeah, it's a Chinese name, but after a while she said I could call her by her first name, you know. Foo. Foo Keenell.
What a strange name! Foo
Keenell. It all started, you see, when she held up this nappy and she says to me, "What's this in English?" So I say, "Nappy. What's this in Chinese?" And she told me.
Well, come on, what was it in Chinese?
Oh, a nappy?
Yes.
Saka poo poo.
Right, fascinating.
She taught me all some sort of useful stuff, you know, like for my holidays. And
Such as?
well, if you've gone to the beach, why you so tired? Or say if you're not feeling too well,
Which is?
something wrong. Or there was that really, really useful one that she taught me. Oh, that's it. When you're on a diet. Why you munching?
I see it very good.
Oh no. So, how are we getting there, Roy?
Well, there's 8 of us, so I've booked 3 taxis. 2 threes and a 2. Should be here soon. So, how's everybody doing? Dawn?
Yeah, I'm okay. My dad phoned me. I might drop him a line back. I don't know, I'll see.
Come on, spoke to your dad.
Not yet, but we're going out for a curry on Monday, so might bring you up then.
What, the curry?
And your mum?
She's alright. She's cold.
Great. Oh, your mum's a lot better. Chemo seems to be working.
And did you meet Richard?
Did I meet Richard? Oh, I met Richard all right. It were hysterical. Yeah. He's huge, gone totally bald, and has got bad breath. But not only that, he's working as a drag queen in Blackpool.
I've been there.
That's the place! And I'm sat in the front row watching his act, thinking, if I put my life on hold all these years for this, I can't believe it.
Good for you.
Still, you can make up for it now.
I already am.
No, you tart.
Same one. Last Thursday night off the internet.
Nice.
Nice, we're talking Brad Pitt with brains. Oh, and Judith.
Yeah.
Huge old man. Nice lad. Craig, 22, lives round here. I think his dad's name's Gary. Shame really he's on the dole at present.
Mind you, I wouldn't see past our Craig. He's always on that internet. And then he says, "Oh, just nipping out for a bag of chips." And 2 hours later, when he comes back, bag of chips, my lady, more like a battered sausage.
Can I just say something? Well, sadly, it's our last evening, and I thought it might be nice to mark the event with a little momentum, to remember our time together. Oh, it's nothing, honestly. Actually, I took a leaf out of your books. They're not from Netto, but for the first time, I ventured into that shop in the precinct. Poundland.
Oh my God! Did you go in disguise with dark glasses and a headscarf?
Yes, you didn't recognise recognise me, did you?
No, I was guessing.
Oh, Doreen, this is wonderful. How much did it cost?
£1!
Oh, Dor, this is ace. I bet it cost a fortune.
No, £1!
Oh, Dor, this would be great if it cost. How much did it cost you?
I told you they were all £1.
Dor and this.
£1! You got me again!
Oh, right, I need a wee before we go.
All I can do is touch you on my makeup.
Alright.
No, there's nothing wrong with your makeup, Doreen. There's enough of it.
Oh. So what's next, Roy? Another course?
Well, yeah, hopefully next year if you get the funding.
Well, I'd just like to say thank you, sincerely and heartfelt. You've given me all these new friends and, well, Judith's like the daughter I've never had.
Oh, thank you, mate.
We're thinking of going to Greece together on holiday, just friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Roy. You've been a really big help.
Wicked, man. Cheers.
Roy, you really helped me. You know, and I was the most sceptical, so thanks very much.
Oh, you're very welcome. Anyway, gay men are always the hardest cases.
What do you think that is, mate?
Not sure, really. I suppose that they've spent most of their life hiding who they really are. They're practiced in building defensive walls from childhood all the way through their teens. I'll lend you a book.
Right, two of them are here. You'll all be another minute.
Right, let's see more there then. Let's go on.
Can you raise my stomach?
Right, are we ready?
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I've never had Chinese before.
What about Pat and Doreen?
Well, I'll come with you. They can follow on.
But where is it?
Don't you know?
Oh no, we've no idea.
No, well, I'll come with you. I'll tell them.
Oh.
Pat's been there before.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll come with you. Pat, I'm going to go with Frank and Judith, all right? Yeah, you follow on in the next taxi. It should be here shortly. All right. I'll see you soon.
Oh, June. I am sorry, but I just can't help myself.
Ready? Oh, there you are, all set.
Yeah, let's skedaddle.
Oh gosh, this year's flown by. It'll soon be Easter. Any plans?
No, not really. Might take the youngest two to Alton Towers. You?
Oh, well, we're hoping to get up to Scotland to see Anthony. They came to us for New Year's.
Liar.
What?
You bloody liar.
I'm sorry, where's all this come from?
Scotland? Scotland?
Yes, Scotland, Inverness.
Don't you mean Leeds?
Leeds? What are you talking about, Leeds?
Your son doesn't live in Scotland. He lives in Leeds. And his name is not Anthony, it's Matthew.
Nonsense.
It's not even your son.
Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do, Dory. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and so do I.
No, no what?
I know all about you, and I know all about your family.
Look, I have no idea what you're babbling on about, but it's nearly 8 o'clock. We
Stop
really
it.
need to...
Just stop it. I know.
How?
That night when I fainted, our June came looking for me. She waited outside. She saw everybody leave, Doreen. Everybody. She saw you get into the car with the father of her baby.
But the mother of Nigel's baby went to Australia.
Well, they've only stayed there a year.
When did she tell you all this?
Oh, not then. She was too shocked. A letter arrived this week. She said she had to be honest. She told me all about how you couldn't have kids and how your Nigel begged her to let him keep the child.
Begged her. He begged her.
Yeah, so that you could have a kid.
So that's what she said, did she?
It's true.
She hasn't told you, has she?
Told me what?
The whole truth.
Oh, the whole truth. Don't get clever with me, Doreen.
Why would my husband beg anybody to become the proud owner of an imbecile?
Eh?
That's right, a spastic. That's what we called them in those days, remember?
Oh, you are sick!
When your precious sister found out that her baby wasn't quite the full shilling, she couldn't wait to get rid of it.
Liar!
Am I? Did she tell you where in Leeds her Matthew lives? No, she wouldn't, because it's not in some smart semi with a nice wife and 2 children, that's for sure.
You're making it up.
Am I? Let's see about that.
What are you doing?
Oh, well, you obviously don't believe me, so I'm going to have to prove it to you.
No, stop it!
No, come on, we'll call the matron. She can put Matthew on if you don't believe me. You won't understand much of what he says, but he can just about say his name.
No! It's lies! All lies!
Lies? You've no idea what a real lie is, sweetheart. You think I'm making it up? It's not worth my sweat. It's small fry, chicken shit. My whole bloody life's been a lie. A big, fat, shiny porker. How do you think I've survived? How do you think I've managed to drag myself up from the gutter without relying on lie after lie after lie? Do you think my Nigel would have married me if he'd known the truth? Do you think he'd have taken me home to meet Mummy and Daddy if he knew where I really came from? You think my mother ran a shop, don't you? Yeah, she did. She ran a shop, all right. A knocking shop. Oh, we had hundreds of satisfied customers, but they were all men. Fat ones, short ones, stinking ones. And I had to answer the door and pretend I didn't know what was going on. Oh, it stays behind the front door, she'd say. And by God it did. Why do you think I can't have kids? Because the week before my 16th birthday, I knew what was coming. There was never any doubt. I was going to join the family business, whether I wanted to or not. So don't talk to me about your sister's petty little lies, darling. I've lived the biggest lie there is.
So why?
Why what?
Why all this? Why waste your time and Roy's?
Honestly, I thought maybe for the first time in a very long time, I might just be able to tell the truth.
We would have understood.
No, you couldn't even begin to understand my life.
We would have tried.
I spent years reinventing myself. I suddenly realised I couldn't risk it all by being honest. Too much to lose. Then that first day when I walked in here and heard all your tales of woe, I was jealous.
Jealous?
Desperately, desperately jealous.
Jealous of what?
Everything. Don't you see? Your lives, your families, your situations. And yes, your problems. I'd have swapped places with any one of you rather than having lived what's gone before.
But you were such a cow.
Of course.
Why?
Well, I couldn't help myself. When a child's frightened, they get angry, become difficult.
Yeah, well, you were certainly that. And underneath?
Just remember, whenever you meet a snooty, officious, cold, pompous prize arsehole, inside, they're 5 years old. Petrified.
You won't what? Tell anybody? No. What would be the point?
And June.
Look, if there's anything I've learned over the last few months, it's that people do things for what they believe to be the right reasons, whether it hurts somebody or whether it's a lie. She had her reasons, just the same as you had yours.
We're not bad, you know. Stupid. cowardly, selfish even, but not bad.
You hungry?
Fucking starving.
Right, well, come on then, we're late.
You're not still going.
Too right I am. Nothing comes between me and my grub. Come in.
No, I don't think I could face them.
Dory, you've got more faces than a town hall clock. Come on, I'll make up an excuse.
No, don't worry. I'll tell them you copped up with a taxi driver.
Well, that would be a lie.
I know, but they'll believe me. Remember, Patricia, this is you we're talking about.
If I didn't know you better, Dory, I'd say you were a bitch.